Well, Sonica, our children in particular didn't always have an easy time, right?
No, they were young and they were suddenly taken out of the world that they knew and plunged into a world that we accepted, that we were converted in. But they hadn't gone through a conversion. They didn't understand yet. They didn't even know who God was. And then Tanya had a dream when she was about 8 years old, our daughter. And
she was the one that had it the hardest because they were mocking her
yes.
at school because she was brought vegetarian food.
Yes, and she was very sensitive. She still is sensitive.
Eventually she wouldn't eat in front of anyone. She used to go and hide herself in the washrooms or the toilets and eat there. And she almost suffered a breakdown as a consequence. And then she had a dream.
Yes, and then she had a dream.
She was 8, eh?
She was about 8, and she was walking with her teacher. Now, I don't know which teacher, but she was walking with her, and they saw a beautiful park, and there was a wall around this park, and she wanted to go into the park. And so they went and walked around this wall until they got to a gate. And at the gate, I think there were 2 guards standing there, and they wanted to go in through the gate, and then the guard said, no, you can't go in, you must first drink this. And so she and the teacher got a cup, and she looked into this cup, and there was a little lamb swirling in some fluid, and she said, I can't drink this. And the guard said, you have to drink this before you can go in through the gate into the beautiful land on the other side. And so she started drinking it, and it was bitter. She said it was so bitter, and she didn't know whether she could finish it. And then she woke up, and then she knew that the park was heaven. The guards were the angels that guarded the gate.
Cherubims.
The cherubims that guarded the gates. And before she could enter, before all of us could enter, she had to drink that bitter cup, the bitter draught, with a little lamb swirling in there.
She had to drink him too?
She had to drink the little lamb as well. And so she was only 8. She didn't know anything about Christ, the lamb, or about the bitter draught or anything like that. Only years later did she understand what it meant.
And the Passover lamb had to be eaten with bitter herbs.
The herbs, yes.
So we have to internalize the lamb, the character of the lamb. And it's going to be a bitter draught. This is not an easy road.
Not an easy road.
And her life has not been easy.
No.
My heart goes out to her many, many times. She has many, many tears in many, many bottles. And maybe God will look at the bottles one day and say, enough tears in these bottles.
Yes, and then there will be no more tears in heaven. Once she gets into that garden,
there will be no more tears. Yes.
This is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. Faith sees Jesus standing as our mediator at the right hand of God. Faith beholds the mansions that Jesus has gone to prepare for those who love him. Faith sees the robe and the crown all prepared for the overcomer. Faith hears the song of the redeemed and brings eternal glories near. We must come close to Jesus in loving obedience if we would see the King in his beauty. While on earth there will be no escape from conflicts and temptations, but in every storm we have a sure refuge. Jesus has told us, "In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. The forces of Satan are marshaled against us, and we have to meet a diligent foe. But if we take heed to the admonition of Christ, we shall be safe. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation.